Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti. Welcome to which part this is? I think this is part 13 officially, but this is part 4 of Doki Doki Blue Skies. In the previous episodes, we oh yeah, previous episode was the Soviet thing, yeah. And we've written another poem. Yuri liked the poem that we wrote yesterday. We talked to Sayori, and we said that if Yuri asked to walk home with me, we would also walk home with Yuri. Aw man, I'm the last one here. Oh, don't worry about it, everyone's late from time to time. Besides, you've been working hard, so I think you deserve some slack. I guess so. I'm usually pretty punctual, but I just lost track of the time today. What made you forget the time? Oh, it's a funny story, actually. It's funny you should say that. I deleted Sayori in the afternoon yesterday, and I just like, oh, you know. I recently decided to learn how to play piano, so I was practicing just now. That's probably why I didn't notice the school bell going off. You can play the piano? That's quite impressive. I've always wanted to play an instrument myself. Nah, it's not as cool as you make it out to be. I've only been playing for a little while, so I've still got a ways to go before I'm any good. You should pick up an instrument too, Yuri. I could definitely see you playing the violin. Yeah, it pretty much suits Yuri perfectly. Ah, the violin is a beautiful instrument. I'm partial to the sound of the flute as well. Flutes can be calm and elegant, just like you. Thank you. How's it like to play the piano? It's a really enjoyable instrument to play. Not to mention, I really love how it sounds. One moment it can just go it can sound gentle and soothing, and the next powerful and full of force. The piano is an instrument that I'm familiar with too. Well, at least somewhat. My father had signed me up for piano lessons when I was younger. He'd been playing it since high school and wanted to pass his passion down to me. But I never really got into it. Considering that, you'd think that I would hate the piano, but for some reason I find myself internally cheering on Monika. Maybe because it reminds me of my father in a way. Monika, you certainly are a talented individual. First starting your own club from the ground up and now picking up piano on a whim? I doubt I'd be able to do that. Oh, don't say that! Anyone can do amazing things as long as they have a passion for it. Which is why I think we're all going to do amazing at the festival. Ah, I can't wait for the festival. Yeah, Natsuki mood swing turnaround. It's gonna be awesome. Natsuki, weren't you just protesting the festival yesterday? Well, obviously, I meant everything besides our part of the festival. I still don't like the idea of performing. Monika rolls her eyes. I don't want to start this whole debate over again either. But I am looking forward to everything else. It's a whole day of school where you can just run around and eat till you burst. I can see the eagerness in Natsuki's eyes. She must really like food. Kind of reminds me of a certain someone. Speaking of which, where is Sayori? Oh, there you are. Sayori's sitting at the desk in the back of the room, staring out the window. I walk over to her. As I do, I hear the girls continue to converse behind me. Something about squids? Yeah. Oh yeah, someone in the comment section actually told me that that's a Japanese joke that I didn't understand because I, of course, don't speak Japanese yet. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, yes, I would like to learn it at some point. There are 3 languages that I want to learn. There are 3 languages that I'm going to learn in my lifetime, and I'm going to speak them fluently. That's just a goal that I have, and I'm going to accomplish that goal. 3 languages. Those are German, which I'm actually very decent at already, but I can't really do it very fluently. So German, Latin, and Japanese. Those are the 3 languages that I am going to learn at some point. But yeah, apparently Monika, or Ika, the part of Ika is squid in Japanese. So Monika means like, and Ika means squid. And that was the whole joke. And then, but Monika said that doesn't work in translation because, you know, Ika doesn't mean squid in English. And besides, that's not how you say. You don't say Monika, you say Monika in one way. So, yeah, okay, so that was that. They're referencing that joke from the original game. Hey Sayori, I waved my hand in front. Hey Sayori, I waved my hand in front of her face. Huh? You're spacing out again. Ah, yeah, sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. No, Sayori, come on. I know where this is going, Sayori. I've been in a parallel universe, Sayori, and if it isn't Monika, then I can fix it, okay? As long as Monika just keeps her hands to herself, then I can fix this. Well, at least I'm gonna do a better... Hopefully I'm gonna do a better chance than in the previous game, in the original game. Huh? Are you okay? She forces a smile. It's not very convincing. Of course I am, silly. Why wouldn't I be? I don't know, you seem a bit off today. Maybe I'm wrong, but... My mind wanders back to what she asked me as we were walking home together. You worry too much, Mark. I'm fine, seriously. She shows me another smile, much bigger and more genuine. While it seems much more Sayori-like, there's still something inside me that feels something's up. Sayori must have noticed, as she hastens to explain. To tell the truth, I just didn't get much sleep last night. I'm really tired, so sorry if I'm a little cranky, huh? Seriously though, I'm probably not much fun to hang around with right now. Why don't you spend some time with the others? I might try and have a little nap. Sure. No, Sayori, this isn't the napping club. You told me that yourself. And I'm definitely gonna get back on you for that. Sure, okay, just know that if anything's bothering you, you can talk to me, okay? I hate to see you suffering in silence. She nods. Suffering might be a little strong of a word. Ah well, you know what I mean. Sayori nods again, then shoos me away. I wonder if to talk to Monika. That feeling of uneasiness isn't going away. Maybe that's just how Sayori is these days. I mean, it's been a good few years since we've properly hung out together. Maybe she's changed? Deep down, I know that isn't the reason. Still, maybe Monika knows more than I do. After all, she is the president, right? Yeah, she's also not messing up the game again. That's also very important, huh? Monika? Huh? I timidly approach her. She's shuffling through some papers at her desk. Mark, what's up? I decide to just jump right in. There's no point beating around the bush. Sayori's depressed and suicidal. Monika, go ahead and fix that right now. Hey, so have you noticed anything wrong with Sayori recently? Wrong? What do you mean? I don't know, she just seems a little downcast today. So do you have any idea why she might be feeling off? Like, have you seen her act this way before? No, I can't say I've ever seen her like this before. Yeah, she says she's just feeling tired because she didn't get much sleep. But to be honest, I'm not buying it. She's normally upbeat and cheerful. Her behavior has been so uncharacteristic. Monika peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Wait, didn't she say she was going to try a nap? Maybe there is something on her mind. My question, though, is why you're asking me. You've certainly known her longer than I have. Yeah, well, you've spent more time around her recently than I have, with the club and all. I guess so. But I've never seen her dismiss me? Maybe she didn't exactly dismiss me, but it felt like she just wanted me gone. Sorry, I'm just concerned for her, you know? I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, that's all. No, I appreciate you coming to me. It's really sweet how concerned you are for her. After all, it's important for me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure that's a good idea? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? I know you've known Sayori for longer than I have, so perhaps you're right. Still, it's worth a try. I also have to talk to her about what she wants to do for the festival anyway. Oh, alright, fair enough then. Yeah, just bring it up casually in that case, Monika. Just like, go to her, talk about the festival stuff, and then very slowly, very casually, just like steer the conversation towards that direction, okay? Don't go blunt like me. Like, oh, Sayori festival, would you like to do this and that? Okay. So, Mark told me you're suicidal. Don't do that. That's not gonna work. Fair enough then. I just hope she's more receptive to you than she was with me. Monika pauses, studying my worried facial expression. The warmth of her smile reflects in her eyes. You really care about her, don't you? From what I can gather, you've been friends for a while. Yeah, we've been childhood friends for as long as I can remember. Although before I joined the club, we had been drifting a lot. I hate thinking that she's that she's been like this before without me around to help her. Hey, I know it's hard, Mark. It's never easy seeing a friend suffer. Yeah, well, you're the one to talk, Monika. For what it's worth, she's lucky to have someone so thoughtful looking out for her. Don't blame yourself for it. You can't always be there for everyone. I know she's right, but the feeling of guilt still resides. Yeah, I guess. Hey, she's been a lot happier since you joined the club, you know? Huh? Really? Yep. She told me she was kind of surprised at first, as she didn't expect you want to join. But once she got over that, she enjoyed having you around. Anyway, I know it's hard seeing her like this. I'll talk to her and see what I can do, okay? She'll be fine, don't you worry. Yeah, I sure motherfucking hope so, Monika. I still don't really trust to leave Sayori in your care, since I know what your care can do. So you're still on some ridiculously thin motherfucking ice, Monika. Let be a lesson to you. Let's just hope you're right, Monika. Thanks for everything, by the way. You've been a big yeah, sure. I want to make a joke, but it doesn't really work in English because it's a Dutch expression. Well, I guess I could try to explain it, but there's a Dutch expression that goes like from the side of the river into the river. Is literally like roughly translated what it means, and it means, of course, making a situation worse. And I usually make that joke with my friends in real life quite often. When someone says like, "Oh, you've helped me," yeah, I've helped you from the side into the river. But yeah, it works better in Dutch because then you can use the proper saying. Oh, it's not a river even; it's a creek. From the side into the creek, and that's the saying, and it means making a situation worse. And then, you know, in real life, well, but when I'm joking around with friends and stuff, they're like, "Oh yeah, you've helped me," and then I'm like, "Yeah, from the side into the creek, that's where you've helped him with." But yeah, anyway, it's very silly, but it works better in Dutch, so okay. You're too kind, Mark, nothing to thank me for. She stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her. But she's keeping her voice so quiet, I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible. That's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monika to talk to her. For some reason, I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. Oh, is it Yuri? I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice that Yuri is peering over her book at me. Again, she's like... Realizing that she's staring, she timidly hides behind... Oh, what? Yeah. There we go. Again, I predict what the game is going to say. Did she overhear the stuff about Sayori? Perhaps she can help? I walk over to where Yuri is sitting and slide into the desk next to her. I'm sorry if I was distracting you. I didn't mean to stare at you like that. Yuri, it's okay. You're not bothering me at all. She sighs, appearing somewhat relieved. I see. Well, I couldn't help but notice you were deep in thought. Is there something on your mind? Well, yes, actually, but how could you tell? Because she was staring? Duh. She gently flicks a page in a book back and forth, rubbing her thumb gingerly against the corners. I'm usually alone with my thoughts, so I know what to look for. Not that I was specifically watching you or anything. Oh dear, I hope you don't think that's weird of me. Don't worry about it. I think being so perspective is kind of cool. Oh, I do apparently. Perhaps you could help me with something, Yuri. Her curiosity piques. She folds the page she was reading slightly to mark it for later, then shuts the book and turns to me. Are you sure I'm the right person for that? I do, apparently. I 100% do. You seem to have your head on right, unlike Natsuki, but I mean, if I would ask Natsuki for help, she would just scold Sayori for being depressed, and that's not gonna help. And then, of course, she doesn't mean it that way, but that's just how she will react. So you probably give me great advice. I see. Well, I'll try to do my best, I suppose. Okay, so I guess the main issue is actually, have you noticed anything up with Sayori? Oh, so this is also different, so I'm telling Yuri about Sayori. Unlike in the original game, where I only told Monika. Also, would it have been cool if I had an option? If there was a choice whether I could choose to tell Yuri about Sayori, or I could choose not to tell Yuri about Sayori, and then depending on that choice, it could like influence how we can help Sayori, or maybe if Sayori actually does end up killing herself. I absolutely hope for the love of all the gods that doesn't happen, but that could influence it. Like, you know, if you involve like every club member, then she eventually doesn't kill herself. But if you like miss one, or only do Monika, or only do Yuri, or only do whatever, then she does actually like tumble too far into the depression and stuff. That would have been really cool, actually. But there was no multiple choice, so anyway. Okay, I guess the main issue is actually, have you noticed anything up with Sayori? Sayori? She glances over to Sayori, who is totally oblivious to what's happening around her. Yeah, things just seem really different, you know? Like she's not herself. I tried to ask her about it, and she just told me she was tired, but I'm not so sure. Yuri idly taps at her book with her finger, apparently thinking things over. That must be quite worrying of you. I'm sure she's not feeling well. Forgive me if this isn't an appropriate question, but do you mind me asking how long you've known each other for? Gosh, as long as I can remember, really. We hung out a lot as kids, but as we got older we kind of drifted apart. Since I've been coming to the club though, I've had the opportunity to spend a bit more time with her. Yuri nods contemplatively. Okay, well, perhaps she doesn't feel comfortable sharing what's ailing her. That's not to say she doesn't think of you as a good friend. You just haven't really seen much of each other recently, have you? Forgive me if that sounds too harsh. I place my hand on Yuri's shoulder. She tenses up for a split second, but quickly eases down again. Yuri, trust me, if you were bothering me, I'd tell you. You need to stop apologizing so much, it's really okay. Sorry, I let out a soft laugh. She's very sincere, it's quite endearing. I understand where you're coming from, though. Perhaps I'll need to work my way up to that level of connection with her again. Yuri folds her arms and tilts her head to the sides, allowing her long violet hair to drop down over the desk. Mark, have you heard of the proverb about our 3 masks? I don't think I have. Well, I think I have, actually. Well, to put it simply, every person has 3 different faces. The first is how we present ourselves to people in public, strangers, passers-by, that sort of thing. The second is how we present ourselves to our close friends and family, the ones we hold dear to our hearts. And then the final one is for yourself. Yeah, exactly. The last one is reserved only for oneself. It's our truest representation of our being that no one else can possibly interpret. That's actually pretty amazing. Yuri truly seems to know what she's talking about. Well, I could have told you roughly that. Not with the expanded vocabulary as Yuri, but I could have told you the same thing. Notice that I said how we present ourselves, not how we feel. I think perhaps the way Sayori acts and the way she feels aren't necessarily the same. I think I understand, but what makes you bring that up? You felt as though something wasn't right from the beginning, correct? Maybe your intuition is trying to guide you towards that conclusion on its own. Of course, that's just my perspective. It's entirely possible that I'm looking too much into it. Although I must admit, I'm curious about her seemingly sudden attitude shift. I wonder what could have caused that. I assume you don't know of any potential events you could have had an impact on her life, do you? Or that could have had an impact on her life. Nothing comes to mind, although as you said earlier, I'm not sure if she'd tell me anyway. She turns to face me, wearing a plaintive smile. I understand this must be quite frustrating for you, Mark. You want to help her, but she won't let you. Yes! I don't want to see her hanging from the ceiling again! But sometimes there's only so much you can do. For now, your best bet would be to simply let her know you're there for her, without prying. I'm sure she would open up to you when she feels comfortable doing so. She's lucky to have such a thoughtful person looking out for her. Yes, well, I thought that was the case last time, but that didn't help. But then again, last time, of course, it wasn't really herself doing that. It was Monika being the yandere of all yanderes. It's like, Sayori's being a bit too friendly with my protagonist here. Let me just increase the depression value of her codes. Oh, she's still alive, huh? Well, not if I increase it even more. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Friends like that are quite hard to come by these days. Monika said something similar to me just now. I rubbed the back of my neck in embarrassment. You guys give me too much credit. I'm just doing what any friend would do, right? There's nothing extraordinary about what I'm doing for Sayori. Haha, so humble. Anyway, do you mind if we do some reading? I can't do anything else for Sayori, so I might as well take my mind off it. Of course. I thought we could carry on with the portrait of Mark. Yeah, okay, hang on. I'm actually going to fucking Google this now, because I'm really curious whether that actually is an actual book or not. And I keep forgetting to Google it on my own, so... So, let me just Google that right now. Porta Carmentales, no. Portrait of a lady, no. Of Markov. Is it an actual book? Okay, no, it's not a real book. It's a reference to, like, other books and stuff. Yeah, okay, so it's not a real book. Okay. It's referencing stuff, but it's not a real book. Okay, there we go. That question's solved. That's okay with you, that is? Yeah, sure, that'll do fine. That's the... What do you mean? It's the only book we've been reading so far. Why the hell would we even, like, go for another one? But before we get into it, I just wanted to say thanks for listening to me. I mean, you've been super supportive, even though this stuff doesn't really have anything to do with you. So, I really appreciate it. You're a genuine person, Yuri. Not to mention, you got a cool taste in literature. I don't know what to say. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, sorry. Oh, now who's the one apologizing? It's just that you're really mature and insightful, and for someone like me who isn't very good with emotions, you really hit the nail on the head. So sorry, I'm just not really used to people being so nice. I frowned. That's kind of surprising. Sure, she's a little quiet, but she's really got her heart in the right place. Please don't tell me there's something very weird going on with your, like, family at home as well, like you're being, like, mistreated or something, because I don't... I'm already worrying enough about Sayori, and I don't really... I'm worrying about Sayori. I'm keeping my eyes on Monika. I don't want to also worry about you. And or Natsuki. But then again, I never had any, like, good connection with Natsuki, because I must find her a bit, not really to my, liking. Oh yeah, that's okay. I should have been a bit more mindful. Shall we start reading? If you wouldn't mind. Thank you, though. I'm glad you joined the club, by the way. Triple dots. Okay, everyone! After some time passes, Monika calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything's back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monika, and she smiles reassuringly at me. Good. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Okay, well, let's go our usual route. Triple dots. Mark, it amazes me every time that you show me a new composition. Your poetry is phenomenal. I can't fathom how you're able to write this so naturally. The words flow through the page with vigor. It even makes me feel somewhat jealous. It seems so easy for you, whereas I find myself stressing out about each piece. Yuri, I don't think that's entirely accurate. I don't have an innate talent for writing. But I do know an incredibly skilled writer whose work motivates me to do my best. And that's you, Yuri. My goodness! Yuri gently smiles to herself, closing her eyes. This feeling. I had no idea that sharing my poetry would feel like this. It's so freeing. I thought it said freezing for a second, and I was like very scared. Yeah, it really is. I still can't believe you've never shared writing with anyone before. I think so many people would love to see your work. You say that, but I'm not sure it's that simple. How so? Well, Yuri looks out the window wistfully. Mark, do you know what I do in the afternoons? Oh, come on, please don't... No depressing stories, please, Yuri, come on. I like to find a quiet spot to eat lunch by myself. It's a wonderful time to reflect on things without distraction. In fact, I'm also able to catch up on my reading. Do you know why I enjoy reading so much? There are so many amazing types of people within the pages. People who might infuriate you, or perhaps someone who can make you smile in your darkest moments. It might sound pathetic, but it makes me feel better about my solitude. It's almost as if I have my own group of friends. Is that weird? Oh, that's kind of fucking depressing, to be quite honest with you, Yuri, because you have real life. I mean, yeah, it's totally fine to feel that way. By the way, it's totally fine, but you also have real friends, and you shouldn't forget that they're also there for you. I'm very scared that at home or whatever, that she is like completely alone and that her parents are like being super mean to her, and that's why she is so apologetic and she is so not confident, because they keep like telling her that she's not worth anything or something. I really hope that that's not the case, but I kind of get that feeling. I don't have to worry about disappointing them. They don't find joy in deriding me. And they don't hate me for acting so insufferably pretentious. Yuri, do people really say those things about you? People might think I'm haughty, or that I'm a know-it-all. But in actuality, I know nothing useful about the world. I might be able to tell you what defines a Shakespearean sonnet. But I'm totally lost when it comes to socializing. Holy shit. It's still very ridiculous how much Yuri looks like me. I mean, it's over-exaggerated. It's not like I'm completely inept at socializing. But a few years ago, you know, if I played this game a few years ago, then it was even scarier. Because if you replace reading with like Roman history or video games, it is, and then of course a guy, another girl, it's 100% me. Not good at socializing, prefers to keep to himself, only speaks when spoken to. And then once you start talking about something you like open up and explode. So, you know, it's literally like an exaggerated version of me. And then, but with other interests and stuff. And with purple hair. Which, as I mentioned before, is my favorite color, so hey, it's only get better from here. Which is kind of strange as well, because even though I was... with this sad song about it, it feels like I'm also sharing a very depressing story, which isn't true, by the way. But what's kind of funny is that I even though I was also very bad at social, still not very great, but you know, you learn over the years. I never had an issue with public speaking. I mean, you're in the previous episode where Yuri did her poem recital, she had a lot of trouble starting, and then it just went normally. I never have any trouble like talking, like public speaking in general. Doesn't matter what the subject is. I'm not uncomfortable with public speaking at all, which is very funny, because when I was in school, everyone knew like, oh, he's a quiet kid, you don't mind him, you know, he's like lost in thought all the time, stuff like that. And then when we had to do like a public speaking exercise, like you would hear like some people like, oh yeah, I like it, other people like, oh, I hate it, and then of course I would not say anything. And and then when it was my turn to present and to do the public speaking bit, I would just like, I would stand in front of the class and it's like bam, 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 bam. There, this subject, that subject, this one, there we go. This is next, and then comes this, bam, 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 bam. And then like fully like professional, like as if I've done it for years and years on end. Like, oh, there we go, bam, and then this, and then comes that, and there we go. That was a presentation. Thank you very much for listening. And then and then the funny thing is, like, people that didn't know me personally never like expected that. They were just like, where did that come from? Which was always quite funny. And then I would just sit back at my desk and not say anything. I don't even know how to make myself... Oh, why the hell did I stop on this line? I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that it became apparent that something was missing. You. Me? Are you sure? Yes. The fact that you're willing to be patient with me, it really means a lot to me. I know there's so many things wrong with me. No, that's not even true, Yuri. I guess parents, but like superiors above her keep telling her that she's stupid and worthless and stuff, and that she like slowly starts to believe it. My diction is irritatingly slow. I'm never able to find confidence in my own opinions, and I look for hidden depths where they don't exist. But despite all of that, you didn't leave me. But yeah, well, like I cannot count on one hand the number of people I feel comfortable talking to. Oh, I can count on. Oh, I was about to say. I was like, I can't. I read I can't. I was like, that's a good sign, but no, I can't count on one hand the number of. I can count on one hand the number of people that I feel comfortable talking to. You're one of those people, and I'm so grateful for that. I see. Well, in my eyes, you are an incredible person. It'd be weird if I didn't treat you nicely, you know? I joined this club hoping to meet some new people, and I'm glad I got to meet you. Yes. I'm glad that I got to meet you too. Yuri hides her face in her hands. However, I notice she is smiling this time. Do you want to show me your poem? Yes. Yes, I do. Let me get it for you. Forlorn? Forlorn? I can't read that. Is that an A or an O? It's an O, I think. Forlorn. Doesn't really help because it don't really know what it means either way. So Google, please help me out. Yes, I know Portrait of Markov is not a real book. Google, hello, could you please... Old phone. I type in FOR and then I get Forum Holitorium, Forum Pistorium, Forum of Constantine, Forum Romanum. I'm not into Roman history, not at all. What the hell are you talking about? Forlorn. Oh, abandoned. Abandoned, desolate, lonely, comfortless, disconsolate, cheerless, desolate, bleak, forlorn. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, well, abandoned, alone, you name it, forlorn means it, okay? Pastel palettes shiver and shake underneath my gossamer words. Out of reach, my shoulders ache. You float away, my pleas unheard. She still does the rhyme. Natsuki would like that. Lost in this silent, charcoal mist, I tried to touch your silky hair. Glowing embers of passionate thirsts, whirling around in my amethyst air. Verdant quadrilateral clovers navigate my rusty veins. Jesus. Help me last until it's over. Take control, grab the reins. I hope one day to see you again and hear your soothing silent tune. I'll patiently wait for the moment when I'm sheltered under your gentle moon. Ah, that is extremely beautiful. This last one. I like that one a lot. I'm sorry if this isn't the most interesting piece, but last piece was very interesting. I mostly had trouble reading, but that's A, handwriting. That's A, handwriting, B, second language, and C, well, me. Just because it's me, I guess. But I wanted to try writing with a prompt in mind. Sounds like that restricted you a bit. Did you not want to write this? Oh, it's not that. It's just, I've been thinking a lot about my writing recently. I felt like I should try to change myself a bit. I see. So what was the inspiration behind this one? Triple dot. He takes a breath, apparently thinking what to say. I suppose it's about an internal struggle between one's own desires and their best interests. It's important for those we care about to be happy, even if it means we cannot be happy ourselves. And then yeah, well, okay, well now I understand why you understood Sayori's problem so well. I imagine it's something you'll need to come to terms with. She mumbles that last part, as though she were thinking out loud. I see. Well, thanks for sharing, Yuri. Yes, of course. What do you mean I have to come to terms with that? Like you are so like so certain that we like can't be together or something? Is that what you? I really think Yuri has like self-esteem problems, which does make the circle complete, you know? Like Sayori is depressed and suicidal. Natsuki has issues with the parents. And then Yuri has self-esteem issues. Has low self-esteem and stuff. I don't know what the official like term for that is. And that only leaves Monika, who has obsessive love disorder. Hi Mark. I approach Monika, wanting to talk about Sayori with her some more, but she takes control of the conversation before I can say anything, and immediately jumps into the club business. This might come as a surprise, but we have a festival coming up. What do you mean this comes as a surprise? We spent the entire yesterday talking about that. Oh wow, I never would have guessed. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people? I have to give it some more thought. Despite my praise the girls might have given me, I really doubt that my poetry is up to snuff. I'm sure that there's not just a little bias during the poetry discussions. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. You wouldn't want to let down the club, right? She says this with a teasing tone, but a chill runs down my spine when I think about the implications of disappointing everyone. Who knows what Monika would do to me if I betrayed her as a loyal literature club subject, so I don't have to imagine, I already know what she'll do. Not to mention, I'm also looking forward to seeing your performance. Right, that's definitely not something that I can relate to. Haha, don't worry so much, you'll do fine. After all, you've been doing fine in these poetry discussions so far. So you say. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Here it is. I let Monika take the poem I'm holding in my hands. But although we're surprised to be discussing poetry right now, I can't help but remain preoccupied by thoughts of Sayori. I'm worried about her, to say the least. It's such an unexpected change that's come over her. Did something happen to her? Mark? Huh? Sorry, did you just call my name? Yeah, twice actually. You seem like you're a million miles away. What's up? I was just thinking about whatever has happened to Sayori. So sorry if I wasn't paying attention. It's fine, I understand. For what it's worth, you're a good friend for caring so much about her. Thanks. I just hope that things go back to normal soon. Well, my advice to you would be to let her come to you on her own. She'll talk if she wants to talk. I think that you should respect her boundaries. You're right, I appreciate the advice, by the way. Of course, I'm always willing to lend a sympathetic ear if you need one. Sure. Today might not be the happiest of days for the club. But that's alright, not every day will be happy. We'll all pull through this together. I hope so. I feel like I shouldn't be going about the club normally. But I think that Sayori probably needs some normalcy right now. So in the end, I tried to get the poem sharing and back on track. Also, by the way, I realized I haven't even seen, heard, or spoken to Natsuki in the entire fucking episode today. Because in the beginning we started talking with Monika, and then Yuri chimed in, then I walked to Sayori, then I walked back to Yuri, and then I walked back to Monika, then I walked back to Yuri, and now I haven't even seen Natsuki at all. Like, what the hell? She didn't even say anything. Anyway, since we're supposed to be sharing poems right now, oh, I almost forgot about it myself. Some precedent am I, huh? Hee hee. Yeah, keep on with the lightheartedness of this all, Monika. Monika quickly whips out her pristine composition notebook. Here's my poem then, alright? Thanks. Oh, you're not even gonna say anything about my poem? Okay. The Box Part 2. On my nightstand sits an ornate box. Painstakingly crafted, decorated with the most delicate filigree. Beautiful, beautiful. The most beautiful box you'd ever see. In that box stands a slender porcelain ballerina. No, not stands. Twirls. She is inanimate, yet animate. Cold yet vibrant. And oh so beautiful. The most beautiful ballerina you'd ever see. She spins and spins and spins as the box melody goes tickle, Tinkle, 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 tinkle. She neither smiles nor frowns, a permanent look of blank composure painted on her facade. She dances for my amusement, and yet I'm evaded by amusement. The room spins around me. Vertigo. Hey, she plays CSGO. I want answers, but she gives me none. I slam the box closed, and yet the room still spins. My skin, porcelain. Is this all she is meant to be? Is this the meaning she is supposed to derive? Is this the sole purpose of her existence? And then her skin cracks, shattering. I'm still not very comfortable with Monika's poems. They still really talk about how she's stuck and forcibly playing along. You know, I feel like looking for answers and contemplating your reality are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see, I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Is it maybe even fourth wall breaking? Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. How fitting, somber subjects for a somber day. Ah, are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't one-dimensional creatures. That's what makes people so interesting. You might think that it would be way better if everyone was happy and uncomplicated all the time. But how would we know that what happiness was if we weren't for the sadness to compare to it? Yeah, that's very, very true. It's a very interesting discussion I had at I can't remember with whom or where or at what time, but I had I had a discussion with someone about that as well. Like, or I saw it on TV. I might have, yeah, I'm definitely not lonely. I imagine having a conversation with someone and it turns out it was all on TV and I never was there in the beginning. I'm not lonely. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, I saw it on TV, I believe, someone, or I talked to someone about it, can't remember. Or I saw it on TV and then talked to someone about it. Let's just combine it. What the hell, it's my story. And yeah, we were talking about that as well. Like, if you don't know sadness, you can't know happiness either, because it's the only feeling you ever have. And then if you can't compare it to anything else, then you won't really feel it, you know? So like, that's the choice that, well, we can't really make that choice. The choice has already been made for us because, you know, as humans, we feel stuff. There's not really much we can do about that. Well, some people don't, but those are usually the best ones. Those are usually the people that stab someone to death at 3 in the afternoon and then go back to sleep and don't care. Yeah, it's like, yeah, would you like if you were like happy all the time, it like slowly starts to lose its meaning because it doesn't like shift back and forth because you know, happy times are happy because you have been had a sad time or a boring time or a mediocre time or whatever, and then when happy times come, it makes it better because like, oh, I'm moved on from the mediocre time, or I've moved over from the boring time, or I've moved over from the sad time, or I've moved over from the depressing time, and that's when the happy time makes it like much better. But if you're happy all the time from beginning to end with no difference in between, it very slowly starts to lose its meaning and just to go down, and it will just be mundane. But yeah, of course, the sad parts hurt very much, so you would prefer to don't have them at all. But if you don't have them, then you can't have the happy parts either. So it's a bit like, it's very philosophical, very interesting to talk about that. But I never went to philosophy class. In my Roman character, I prefer to be on the battlefield rather than in philosophy class. But whatever. I guess that's true. Even so, I'd rather not see my friends so troubled. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Do you ever feel discouraged when something you've put a lot of time into doesn't get as much attention as you thought it would? For instance, you could have spent hours and hours on a poem, only to have your friends barely glance at it when you show it to them. It might make you feel like doing any more is useless. And the sad truth is, the world is so saturated around with creative works already that most people won't receive any attention. At least relative to the most popular artists and authors. There's actually not much that you can do in that situation besides try your best. However, you also shouldn't think of things in terms of popularity and number of views. Is this a YouTuber advice? The most important thing should be your own personal self-satisfaction. If you're proud of yourself and your work, then I say that's enough success. That was the most depressing writing tip of the day ever. Oh, it wasn't really depressing. I mean, it's kind of like if it applies to YouTubers, like if you make an awesome video and it only gets 5 views, if you were happy making that video, then that's enough. And then don't beat yourself over the head with it. But it is kind of true though, especially for the YouTube's sake. Like, don't go ahead and make videos and already assume that they are going to be like, oh, they're going to crash into the YouTube's trending page and like millions of views within 5 hours, and you get so many fucking requests like, oh, subscribers, you're awesome and stuff. Don't make a video with that intention. Make a video that you want to make because you want to make it in a certain way, and then when you're satisfied, then you upload it, and then it's like there. So yeah, if it applies to YouTube, I guess it goes like that. But yeah, that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, luckily she hasn't broken the 4th wall yet, so it's good to see you. It's good to see you taking poetry seriously, Mark. Yeah, truthfully, I wasn't really sure how much I like writing poems, but coming here made me realize how enjoyable it can be. It looks like you've really been influenced by Yuri too. Have I? Did you write it specifically for her? What? No, I didn't. What gave you that impression? Never mind, it's a nice poem, by the way. Ah, thank you. The awkward silence descends upon us. It's good to see you making friends, though. Seeing you get closer to them, seeing you happy, it makes me happy too. I turn to look at her, but she is deliberately avoiding eye contact as she aimlessly fiddles with her pen in her hands. Her words really don't match her demeanor. No sense in questioning it though, as I already know what the response would be. How was your nap, by the way? Oh yeah, it was great. It really helped. I'm fully aware she didn't nap at all, and the fact she went along with the lie further confirms my suspicion. I opened my mouth to call her out on it, but then I stopped, remembering Yuri's words. Perhaps now isn't the best time to ask about whatever's on her mind. It's not like we're best friends nowadays. There's clearly some distance between us, as much as I don't want to admit it. I've asked her what's wrong, but she didn't really confide in me. It's frustrating, but as Yuri said, all I can do now is let her know I'm there for her, and respect her boundaries. Sometimes you have to just work with the hand you've been dealt, I guess. Hey, Sayori, look, this might sound a bit weird, but I just want to know that I'm here for you, no matter what's going on. I shouldn't have cried earlier. I should have respected your privacy. It's just hard for me to sit back and do, well, it feels like nothing. It's okay, I appreciate the concern. Thank you. Anyway, Monika told me she wanted to discuss our festival preparations after everyone was done sharing poems. So I should probably show you my poem now. Anyway, here it is. Fairy tale. In a kingdom far, far away there was a castle. In the castle there was a wish. The wish came to be long, long ago. She was made to be an angel, but I wasn't an angel. I was just a wish to make everyone happy. Oh yeah, okay, well, yeah, this seems a bit familiar. I took on their burdens and did what I could. I kept safe their dreams like a guardian should. The seeds from my efforts then spread far and wide. I fed them with power. I found deep inside. People liked me when I made things right, but they got used to it and stopped believing so much. I watched the children playing and felt sad, but I was happy too. I really was. It really was enough to be the fairy godmother, the one everyone depended on and trusted. But time kept on passing as I gave my all, and I had nothing left and I couldn't stand tall, but I kept on going as I'd always done, a soldier in battle with nowhere to run. Nowhere to run to, baby. Where can looking for hinging, baby? It's a song from Wolfenstein. Even wishes get tired too. Once everyone was happy, my job was done. But what came after? I should see... I should see darkness on the horizon. I'm sorry, but I just... What should I do, Kazuma? I'm sorry. I should see darkness on the horizon. Quick, make it all go away. When everything's big and bright, what more could anyone wish for? Nobody knew how long it would keep up, but they kept living happily, happily, happily ever after. Okay, so what did you think? Wow, Sayori, I had no idea you could write like this. This is something else. Have the others seen this? No, not yet. You're the first one I've shown it to. But what the hell have you been doing this entire time? I've shown it to Yuri and Monika already. What an honor, eh? It's a Canadian. What an honor, eh? Sorry, I can't do Canadian accent. Even though I have family in Canada, actually. So, what's this one about? From what I can gather, it's about someone who tries to keep everyone happy, right? She nods. And people like that, but eventually they kinda got used to it. But that's okay, because at least they were still happy. And this person, the Kingdom's Wish, even she gets a little tired from time to time. But as long as everyone's happy, that's her job. She's happy when the others are happy. That's the most important thing. I look back at the poem, trying to pick up on more subtle meanings. But surely the angel doesn't have to be alone. People don't have to depend on just her to be happy. Surely the angel could share the responsibility, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just looking into this a bit too much. I just feel kind of sorry for her. I blink. Am I seriously empathizing with a fictional angel? That fictional angel is standing right in front of you. Come on. How could you not notice that? Maybe I'm really getting into this poetry thing. Yeah, I'm glad my poems can get such a reaction out of you. I really put a lot of thought into this one last night. And you seem to pick up on it. With an uncomfortable dawn of realization, it's become quite clear that this poem relates to Sayori. Holy fuck, man! How the hell do you only realize that now? You're slow. You're way slower than me. I'm not going to have much luck at questioning that, though. Well, I hope the angel finds happiness soon. Maybe she should share her burdens with other people. She just might be surprised at how receptive other people of the kingdom are. But then they'll be sad. That would be selfish. Or maybe they'll be happy to give something back to their angel. After all, she was keeping them happy. It's only fair they got to give something back, right? A shake of the head and a sad smile is my only response. Okay, well at least we're getting like something like a little bit better than... What's it called? A little bit better than... in the original game. This one's alright. Alright! This is fucking divine, Natsuki! This is... reminds me of a Dutch author who he is really how do you say that? He's really full of himself. And he has like a say he writes extremely complicated books, and everyone in high school is like kind of forced to read, like, well, not really forced, but like kind of forced. They're not forced, but they're forced, you know, to read like at least one of his books, and then everyone complains because they're so difficult to understand. And then, but that guy himself, the guy himself, he's like pretty decently full of himself a little bit. And and there was like a comedian that said like, yeah, I talked to that guy the other day because he's friends with him, and he said like, you know, sometimes I've written a sentence, and sometimes I look at that sentence and I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't write this sentence. God wrote this sentence. And then the guy asked that author, how do you know that you didn't write this but God? And then the author said, I write better. Sorry, I just had to think of that. It's like, it's alright. It's not alright, Natsuki. This is divine. This can't get any more perfect than this. I didn't write this. God wrote this because I write better. Yeah, it's about average. Not amazing, but not terrible. Well, I'm at least trying. I never said you weren't. This just isn't my style. Alright, nothing wrong with that. People have their opinions. Yep. You are being awfully... Oh, also, hi, Natsuki. First time meeting you here now, today. You're being awfully nice, Sayori. Natsuki, sorry. Your poems are kind of like... decent, I guess the word is the word. I feel like there's potential in them, but it just stops short of it. Well, any tips to finally reach this potential you keep talking about? Ha! Coming to the pro for the tips, are ya? Alright, I'll help you out on this. I'll help you out this time. Natsuki examines my poem once more. Alright, I think I know what the problem is. It's your language. It's mediocre. My language? Like the words you use. There's nothing really special about them. They're just average words. I think you should use some softer words. Like my poems. So I should start writing like you, is that what you're saying? Well, my poems are the best. Seeing Natsuki so proud of her own work, I can't help but smile. I can't help but smile as I like faked a gagging thing there. And vomiting. Haha, alright Natsuki, whatever you say. Let's see your poem now. Oh yeah, here. Something happy. Cookies and cream and my own happy place. Fresh and warm sunshine and a breeze on my face. These are the things that that happiness means. I just folded laundry, hot from the dryer, lifts up my spirits so they can't go much higher. But this isn't the Yuri mocking poem. Puppies and kittens and cute bunnies too, all cuddled up with small barks, squeaks and mews or something. Wow, it's pretty freaking long as well. These are the things that make me beam. Sleeping in a big soft bed, listening to rain, pit-pat overheard. Talking with friends and laughing aloud. All worries now gone and playing around. These are the things that fill my dreams, but sometimes happiness is hard to find. I know darkness lingers. Oh, what should I do, Kazuma? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. Ever since Konosuba, I can't take the word darkness seriously anymore. It's really messed me up. Kazuma, Kazuma! I can already imagine a pack of wild beasts making a mess of me. And anyone too. And some people feel the eternal blues. So here's a poem from me to you. Please know that people are all alike. If we stick together, we'll be alright. Let's talk and laugh about happy things and find the joy that true friends can bring. Show this poem to Sayori right now, Natsuki. Show this poem to Sayori right now. Because she needs to pick up on that. You know what this poem is about, right? You wrote it for Yuri, right? I wouldn't say... Well, actually, yeah. I wrote it after seeing how much effort Yuri was putting into changing. I mean, it's only fair after the poem she wrote for me, right? Well, not for me, but don't worry, I know what you mean. Anyway, I guess that was, you were... Shut up! I was childish, alright? Yeah, you were. I just always get caught up in the moment. It's hard for me to let go of that sort of stuff. But yeah, after writing 2 negative poems, a positive one was pretty refreshing. Yeah, I just talked about how everybody always has depressing poems, but this is a nice change indeed. I do like the feel of this poem. It really is something happy, haha. Yeah, I mean, I was feeling happy when writing it, so naturally the mood would be happy. The ending is a bit bittersweet though. Oh yeah, about that. Well, I was thinking that Yuri probably has problems that I don't know about. I mean, all people do, right? So I guess the message at the end was that even if we have problems and even if we're feeling sad, if we look towards our friends, we can find happiness. Yeah, show this poem to Sayori right the fuck now. Stop talking to me. Show it to Sayori immediately, right now. You know, joy and solidarity and stuff. Solidarity, huh? That's a very Yuri-ish word. Well, I was thinking about what Yuri would call it, so... I'm not dumb, you know? I do know big words. I just consciously decide not to use them. Alright, I get you. I think Yuri will appreciate your poem, though. I think Sayori would appreciate it even more, by the way. Heh, she better. Oh, come on. Okay, everyone. We're all done sharing poems, right? In which case, let's start figuring out... I want to hear what Yuri thinks about Natsuki's poem. I want to hear what Sayori thinks of Natsuki's poem. I want to hear what they think. Come on. You still remember it. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Anyway, as I was saying... Well, I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making her specialty, cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle it all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge! Challenge! Wait for it, accept it! And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. So Yuri, you mentioned goodie bags earlier, if I remember correctly? Yep, I want to make some goodie bags for everyone and put in little quotes, bookmarks and candies. And yes... yes, that was it. Great idea, people will love that. Indeed. We're glad you're helping, Sayori. You guys, it's nothing special. The cupcakes sound amazing, though. Of course, because I'll be making them. We all share a collective laugh. How about you, Yuri? Ideally, I'd like to do something that could enhance the atmosphere of our performances. I'd like to experiment with some aromatherapy as well, if that's okay with you. Of course, that's fine. I'm excited to see what you can come up with, Yuri. You've also got beautiful handwriting, so perhaps something that involves that? Yuri ponders for a moment. How about banners and decorations? It's funny that you mentioned that. I was just about to say that myself. Haha, well, great minds think alike, right? She shares a laugh with Yuri and turns to me. Anyway, that just leaves you, Mark. The only club member who's useless. Haha, don't say that. In fact, it looks like all of us have a lot of work to do for the festival. I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone when I say that some help would be much appreciated. And so it's basically a choice between who to spend my weekend with. Well, why do I suddenly feel so nervous? I suppose I could use a bit of help. Not that I really need it, but if you want to help me bake stuff, I could always just have you do some dirty work. But if you help, you better not sneak a cupcake to eat. That's okay. I doubt Mark will want to... No, come on, Yuri, relax, please. don't start an argument. I doubt Mark will want to help with you. Wow. I doubt Mark will want to help you if you make him out to be a burden. There we go. If you don't need any help, I believe he'd be better off assisting someone else. Urgh. Well, that's up to him to decide. Maybe he likes baking. Have you ever thought of that? Besides, how hard could making decorations be anyway? It's not as though I'm only speaking for myself. Monika and Sayori would like to be appreciative of help too, as well. And not that it really matters, but decorating requires a lot of creativity and meticulous work. So does baking. You never baked a thing in your life. How could you possibly know? Throughout their bickering, I can't help but notice that Sayori hasn't said a word. Does she not want me to help her? Am I just overthinking this? It's impossible to think properly with the arguing going on. Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, it's like Natsuki said, Mark's the only one who gets to decide how he'd like to contribute. There's no need to argue over him like he's the last boy on Earth. Exactly. I think it's fair to say that each of us have plenty of work to do. This has nothing to do with him being a boy. I agree, we merely were discussing our workloads. Looks like Monika has united Natsuki and Yuri with a common enemy. Haha, sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez, can we just move on already? Alright then, moving along. Mark, you're okay with this, right? At the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. Triple dots. In that case, everyone looks straight at me, varying expressions playing on their faces. Okay, saving. Oh, why the hell did I save there? Should have... Yes, I want to override that. Okay. I'm actually curious because it said that I can't choose Monika, but Monika is an option here. So what the hell will happen? Yeah, what the hell would happen if I choose Monika? Will the game just say sure? Or will the game say no? Oh no, the mouse is being dragged towards Monika. Yeah. I kind of want to spend time with everyone. I want to spend time with Natsuki because I've never spent any time with Natsuki at all, and I kind of feel like I'm neglecting her a bit. I want to spend time with Yuri because, well, Yuri's just awesome. Sayori because Sayori might be a little bit on the nose, but obviously you know the reason why. And I just want to see what happens when I choose I'm going to choose Monika right now just to see what happens. But in the end, I think I will go with... I think I'll just... Okay, I'm not going to go with Sayori because I don't think that's going to be alright. Well, unless the game wipes all my saves later on, I can try this again. Okay, well, let's try Monika first. I think I'd be probably best suited for helping Monika. Oh, really? How so? Yeah, I mean, it's not like she's the most work or anything. Heck, even Yuri has more to do. Natsuki, it's not a competition. Hey, although to tell the truth, I would have to agree. Not to put any pressure on you or anything. I just think that my job is honestly suited for one person. After all, I'm going to be designing the pamphlets on my laptop. Not sure how you could really contribute with that. I guess that's true. Well, if you're sure you don't need any help, then don't worry about me. My mom does graphic design, too, so I do have resources if I need help. Anyway, I'm happy that you offered me to help, though. Did you offer to help, though? Yeah, no problem. So, sorry to make you choose again. But do you have a preference? Okay, yeah. Okay, so you can't choose Monika either way. She'll just dismiss herself. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so that's an easy elimination. Monika just is impossible, apparently. Okay, Natsuki, Yuri, or Sayori. Yeah, I would like to spend time with Natsuki because, well, I haven't spent any time with her at all, and she's actually been pretty positive lately. I want to spend time with Yuri because, well, she very, very slightly started to open up to me, so I would kind of like to, like, you know, encourage that. And, well, Sayori is pretty motherfucking obvious why I would like to spend time with Sayori. Just to ensure that I don't see her hanging from the ceiling anytime soon. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, no, I don't think Sayori is a good idea. I just now said I'm going to keep my distance. I'm going to allow Sayori to approach me with stuff if she feels like it. And then forcibly going towards her and like spending time with her and stuff, maybe a little bit over the top. And then it turns out that was the only way to save her. But, you know, in my mind, when I talked to Yuri about it, I talked to Monika about it, I talked to Sayori about it, and we all came to this, like conclusion. Shouldn't force myself onto her, so choosing Sayori would be a bit of a bad idea, I think. So that just leaves Natsuki and Yuri. Yeah, Sayori or Natsuki or Yuri. Should we just go with Yuri, just for the sake of consistency? Like in the previous game? The original? I mean, Yuri really very, very briefly, very gently, very temporarily opened up to me a little bit about herself. And I really would like to, like, help her encourage that a bit, you know? But also, I have never done anything with Natsuki at all. And she's been pretty nice lately, and she even actually like made efforts to be friends with Yuri and stuff, so I would also just like to be the friendly nice guy. Say also, okay, alright, I will spend time with you as well, Natsuki. Well, I've saved, so I guess I'll go with Yuri in the end. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki! I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No? I was just saying... Ugh. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Mark? Yeah. she's complete like, oh god, no, please. And then Sayori kind of like smiles as well. If that's okay with you, Yuri. Of course. Sorry, I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things. Your assistance will be much appreciated. Okay, well that's sorted then. Oh, then. Okay, I thought it said them with an M. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking by yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said it would be fine. Okay. How about you, Sayori? We can work together if you want. I think I'll be okay, thanks. What an independent bunch you all are. Haha. So is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited might not be the right word. But I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. She glances shyly in my direction. Do you feel the same way? Yeah, I haven't really made any banners before, and I don't know much about aromatherapy, whatever that is. So it'll be a new experience for me. I'm sorry in advance if I'm not very useful, Yuri. No, there's nothing to worry about. I appreciate you offering to help me in the first place. Good to know, it'll be fun. Yeah, that's the spirit, guys. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? I'm just looking forward to making all those cupcakes. Those new students better appreciate them. I'm sure they will, don't you worry. After all, they look just as nice as they taste. There's a general murmur of agreement. I have a little surprise in mind with the cupcakes that I think everyone will like. Oh, what'd that be? Natsuki rolls her eyes. It's called a surprise for a reason, dummy. You'll find out on Monday. Ah, of course, how silly of me to forget. Anyway, there's nothing more to discuss for today. Everyone knows what they're doing, so we'll see you all on Monday with your festival stuff. Oh, sorry, before I go, Sayori, anything you want to add? Sayori has been awfully quiet. If I wasn't so worried about her, I might have forgotten she was in the room. No, I'm okay, thanks. I'm looking forward to what your little mystery is, Natsuki. As Natsuki and Monika leave, Sayori turns to Yuri and I. Oh, and Mark, Yuri? I hope you two have fun. She giggles and walks out the door. Hang on, we're meant to walk home together. As I move forward to intercept her, I feel a light tap on my shoulder. It's Yuri, looking incredibly sheepish. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you or anything. It's just, I realized we have no way of contacting each other this weekend. I forgot myself, actually. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Do you want my mobile number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Okay, here you go. We exchange numbers. As I add her name to my list of contacts, I realize how small my contact list actually is. Apart from Sayori and my parents, it's basically empty. A reminder of how my life was before joining this club. Mark? Huh? Sorry, I must have spaced out a little. It's okay, I was just saying I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. Huh? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought I'd be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. Ah, I suppose that makes sense, but if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Yeah, oh shit, there's 100% something with her parents' house or wherever she lives. I feel like I slightly figured it out. It's like her parents are like extremely mean and like keep like telling her that she isn't worth much or whatever. And that's why she has low self-esteem and that's why she wants to go away to my house. I 100% hope it's not true, but I'm very scared that it is. Oh yeah, I guess that's fine. I decided not to pressure Yuri for a reason. Well, for a reason, yeah. I guess it's not really that important either way. I'll just need to make sure that my room is clean. I hope I can actually contribute to whatever you have in mind, Yuri. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Mark. I think that we'll make a very productive team. Even if you chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. Oh god, please no. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's simply what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Besides, you helped me a lot with Sayori earlier. I have to return the favor somehow. Oh, you really don't have to worry about that. Hey, I'm only teasing. I'd love to help you out. I always enjoy your company. Her face flushes in bright crimson. There's no way you sincerely mean that. Of course I do. You're a delight to be around, Yuri. I see. Forgive me, Mark. It's just, I rarely hear such kind things spoken so genuinely. I really can't understand why anyone would say mean things about her. Is it because she keeps to herself or because her interests deviate for a little from the norm? Regardless, I really do want to spend my Sunday with you, Yuri. Can you believe me? She looks at me straight in the eyes, deep in thought. It's almost as if I can see the gears turning in her head. After a brief moment, she sighs and nods. Yes, I believe you. I hope that we can have an exceptional... I read experimental. I was like, huh? What? Exceptional time together. I didn't mean for that to sound so serious. I'm doing it again. Yuri clears her throat. What I wanted to say was, I'm looking forward to Sunday. A gently smile passes her across her face. Me too, Yuri. I leave the club room, Yuri following behind me. Looks like Sayori didn't wait up for me. She's probably at home by now. I can't help but feel guilty about not walking home with her, but maybe she really does want to be left alone. It'd certainly explain why she seemed to shrug off my attempts to help her, right? But I feel like something's off. I wish I could just focus on what's going on in front of me. Yeah. Do you have to write a poem or not? No. Oh, it's already What? Why is there nothing happening on Saturday? Okay, well, let's save it here. Let's save it over... Yeah, let's save it over this one. I can always go back to this one and then choose Natsuki or Sayori. Because I think... I don't know. I think I will actually play this game a couple of times after I'm done to see what other endings there are. Because there are multiple endings. There's like endings for every girl, for Natsuki, Yuri, Sayori, and then there's also a good and a bad ending for everyone. So of course I hope I get the good ending, but yeah, if some bad ending of someone happens, then I kind of want to figure it out. So unless the game wipes everything, which would really suck because then I have to do a lot of fucking stuff over again. But well, then again, I guess I could skip because I've already read everything. But yeah, I think I will actually play this game multiple times to figure out the other endings. Well, depending on how things go. Maybe because in the original game there was like only one ending. Didn't really matter if you chose Yuri, Sayori, or Natsuki. In the end, it's all just Monika. In the end, it's all just Monika, so it doesn't really matter. But this game is different. So therefore I said, well, maybe I will try it out. Okay, anyway, hope you almost enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.